Yes, Sparta!
Fatality.
Welcome to the age of the pandemic. That's what we're living right now, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the middle of a pandemic. Wherever you are, the pandemic is strong. The pandemic seems not to have reached the peak of total annihilation. Yeah, sadly, that's the case for us everywhere. It's not just localized. It's not just in some country you don't like. It's everywhere. You cannot get away from the pandemic. For those of you listening for the first time, that is how we will refer to the pandemic, the COVID-19 situation, the coronavirus. Yeah, that's what's going on. So while we're not going to sit around holding on to this pandemic, it has significant effects on the things we talk about, except for aliens. But in a way, the pandemic gives you food for thought. Something to think about. I actually mentioned it last week sometime on one of the episodes. I think it was like last Wednesday or some shit. And the pandemic really does, if you're open to the discussion of aliens and other planets and things like that, you kind of have to kind of think about that. What is a pandemic? What does it mean to us when a particular organism is not from the planet Earth? There is an article that is going to talk a little bit about that. In a strange way, it seems like, and I'm just going to put this out there. Let's take a year's trip back. You know, maybe like 2 years, a year after Two Stars Academy put out the videos of, you know, the Tic Tac UFO. And every freaking damn son of a bombachin article that had to do with UFOs or government cover-up or anything like that always started with the Two Stars Academy situation. Right from the word go. That's what it started about. That was always the way to enter the topic or end it, basically. That's what's happening now with the pandemic. The pandemic is entering all kinds of things. We know business is 4.2 far fucked right now because of stock markets and people selling off and everybody's scared as hell. I mean, listen, it was hard enough to get through Shittergate because that toilet paper was gone. It was gone. When you walked in there and you saw that all the TP was gone and all the Kleenex was gone and all the paper towels were gone, I mean, really. I know some of you went up to restaurants and you never asked for extra napkins, but by golly, for Shittergate, you asked for an extra helping of napkins from your favorite restaurant. And I'm sure the person handing them to you was like, come on, really? You think I'm stupid? Yeah. I know you did. I did that once or twice myself during the initial United States Shittergate. But like I said last week, Shittergate is slowly kind of disappearing, right? I can tell you my story of me rolling up to local supermarket and rolling out with a really significant size packet of TP. So at that moment, not only was I more than happy to go into my inner child and think about how many different ways I could use the toilet paper, but I realized then Shittergate's coming to a close. Now we've got the pandemic, and it's taken cities and states apart. Countries are falling apart. But COVID-19 is not stopping just at the people. It's moving into business. It's moving into space. It's taking fuckers out. Fuckers that we thought initially when we heard names, we're like, you don't got a snowball chance in hell against the big guys. They didn't even get to that point because the pandemic took them out. That's another article we're going to talk about in here. So we'll get ready for that. And after that, listen, after the first article, it's COVID-19 is changing the face, the future of space travel in so many ways. You, as a layman person, anyone out there who doesn't follow this topic, who doesn't care about SpaceX, or it doesn't care about NASA trying to get to the moon and Mars, you're not going to see any connections. No, you can't see past Shittergate. Understandably so. And besides Shittergate, you have the just basically the grocers have low stock in most things that people like to enjoy. But we'll get to that and when we get to these three articles. So we are live right now, so hats off to Green Man, who is in there first. And I said the rest of the episode, should I say, will be pre-recorded, because the connection was horrific. And if you heard the last live episode, it was it was like I was doing my impression of Max Headroom, just jumping around. It was so sad indeed. But it looks like we're holding good, so let's get to it.
Takes control of me. You make me crazier than a lunatic. Liberate, don't forget me that way. It's a different taste. We ain't got no time to waste. I'm just like a mermaid. I wanna eat you, so fresh. You know, black swan, no, you refuse. You said jealousy suits me, so I wear it quietly. You turn me into a liberate, don't forget me that way. It's a different taste. Liberation. We ain't got no time to waste. We have got something to say. Don't look at me that way. Feels like I'm underwater, swimming with you. Liberate, don't forget me that way. It's a different taste. Liberation. We ain't got no time to waste. Don't look at me. Liberation. No time to waste.
I actually went back and listened to that episode where the connection was bad, and I felt like I had like podcast Tourette's. It was like, motherfucker, and like 2. I mean, it was crazy. It was nuts. Like after the first few minutes, I was like, screw it. I really wanted to delete it, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna cry over spilled fucking milk. That's all I know. By the way, it was my birthday on Sunday, so oh man, had some champagne, some vodka, some barbecue. It was really good, man. I wish I could have shared it in some way. Maybe next year we'll get like a live thing going on. You can see the Moonraker behind the BBQ, behind the grills, getting down, and I was relaxed. Let's just say that I wasn't drunk. I really don't get drunk. I just kind of mellow out, kind of like when I do the podcast, except for that one episode. We will not mention that episode. I've tried to delete it as well as I can, but it's in the dark web somewhere. The first episode is NASA selects SpaceX for Lunar Gateway cargo mission. What the fuck just happened? Let's just start there. Because last fall, SpaceX was out crying, upset as can be, because they were claiming foul play on the part of NASA for trying to bump everyone else out of the way, even SpaceX, and putting Boeing pretty much in front of everything. Like Boeing was the go-to. Even SpaceX, Elon Musk said, wait a minute, you guys are picking Boeing, but Boeing is charging a shitload of money. They're not efficient. And we can do this for ever. We could run circles around what they're doing. But their Crew Dragon was apparently not fit to carry people into space, just cargo, because Boeing got the ticket. And what happened with Boeing? First test, they would miss the mark. They don't even get up there into orbit. They don't even come close to the ISS. And that was at the point where the shit hit the fan for them, right? Because their CEO decided to take a back seat and step down. And there you go, the rest is history. Then COVID-19 comes in. The pandemic comes in and is slinging low, knocking companies out the way, one of them being Boeing. Yeah, they're in some serious shit. And the funny thing is that I don't know about you guys, but I am like so focused on the pandemic. I'm watching news. I watch the president speak, vice president, everyone that's involved in this, experts, non-experts, fuckheads, whoever has a fucking opinion, I'll watch it. I don't care. So I'm watching all of this, and the one topic that the freaking reporters, the cutie pies, as Trump likes to call them, well, the one thing the cutie pies are always asking about in a slick way is Boeing. Are you taking this money to save Boeing? But why shouldn't they ask that when Boeing was kind of placed up there as the company that's going to take us to the moon? They did that. And now Boeing is having some financial issues. And so why not? Why not ask if the taxpayers' money is going to go to save Boeing? Well, who knows? I'm sure in some slick way, someone is going to do something to bring Boeing back to life. Put the 2 paddles on that chest and spark them up. But in the meantime, this is what happened. NASA decided that SpaceX is going to help them to carry all their shit over to the Gateway station. There's going to be a space station of sorts that's going to be in orbit around the moon, and they're going to call it the Lunar Gateway. SpaceX is going to supply that motherfucker. Yeah. They got it. They got this deal. Because, from the beginning, it doesn't really change what initially NASA said, right? You guys, you're good for cargo. That's all you're good for. Carry our shit. Jeeves, SpaceX Jeeves, take our shit and put it by the moon. That's basically what they're saying. That's, I mean, it really hasn't changed, right? But right now, if Boeing continues to screw the pooch on this, if their financials continue to tumble because of the pandemic and, you know, the markets, maybe it will be SpaceX that eventually will come out on top. Maybe it'll be all SpaceX, but we know that the folks in Congress are not happy about sharing any kind of technology with private organizations. They want NASA to have it all. Got a lot that's done for us in the past, right? And I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, still, private enterprise like SpaceX is always going to have one leg up on NASA. Listen, the Poindexters and their pocket protectors, they can go visit SpaceX and Elon all the time. Anyone can. And they can go share their knowledge if they need to. He'll take it. Elon will take it. He doesn't give two fucks about it. I mean, what, would you? Yeah, they got brains for a reason. By the way, Bugs, a UFO hunter, just joined me. You might have heard his chain rattling, his collar, his name tag on the way up, and now he flopped down behind me and he's snoring away. I don't know how he does it. I've never seen an animal fall asleep so fast that wasn't narcoleptic. He might be, I don't know. We haven't really looked at it. He hasn't been out chasing too many aliens, so he's just getting lazy as fuck. That's all it is. SpaceX is basically stating they're going to use their Falcon Heavy the Falcon Heavy for Lunar Gateway supply runs. And, hey, they are going to make sure that they are going to get the supplies up there, whatever the fuck it happens. The article didn't have any set time frame for the Lunar Gateway getting up there. I can imagine, though, that the way NASA and the government have been planning this whole lunar situation, this shit gets pushed back more and more every fucking conversation there is. So now we have a space station around orbiting the moon. They ain't shit up there yet. It is 2020. I don't think they're going to hit their target already. The only thing that I'm concerned about is SpaceX getting involved with this Lunar Gateway situation with NASA, and then their plans to go to Mars are 4.2 far fucked because it might not happen. It might get pushed back. And this might be a way for SpaceX and Elon to kind of bow out a little bit of their initial targeted time frames and say, hey, we're helping out NASA because Boeing's is a bunch of bitches and they couldn't cut the mustard, so we're going to go ahead and step in. But that's going to put our Mars trip behind. And I'm sorry to say that, but that's the way it is. The link for this article is in the description. It has a lot more stuff in it regarding the plans for this Lunar Gateway. Check it out. I mean, listen, we've all seen the fucking moon. It just sits there. It sits. You see that shit almost every fucking night. Who gives a fuck about what's on the moon? We're past that. If we went there, as they say, we don't need to go back. Nobody gives a flying fuck about that anymore. Let's get past it. Let's get to what we need to do and explore the rest of our solar system. Bugs is having issues. I just don't know about him sometimes.
You don't have to go now. I won't let you down.
The next article is a perfect example about what I was just talking about at the beginning of the podcast. How some of these guys are taking the whole COVID-19, the pandemic, and they're taking this as a lead into shit that has nothing to do with the fucking pandemic. that's yeah. I don't get it. Like, I think, it's a bit of clickbaiting, right? But it's more about the whole hashtag keyword search, because if you put your shit in, can you have the COVID-19 in there? Well, damn, guess what? It'll show up high somewhere. And then when you look at the title, you're like, what in the hell does COVID-19 have to do with this? The title for this one is out of the Space Review. Never heard of these people, but I can see why. Astronomers may have one less satellite constellation to worry about. You guys might have heard the news, right? In the last few days, OneWeb, which was the other company that was putting up a constellation of their own, because, I mean, fuck it, let's all just block the stars. Who cares? OneWeb announced that they were filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy in New York. Yeah, that happened. Most of the articles that we read before this talked about the other competing constellations competing against SpaceX. OneWeb was one of them. At the beginning of the year, they were trying to, of course, get themselves some of the cha-ching to kind of help them out of a hole. But along came the pandemic and saved them, and they were able to just go into bankruptcy. And I don't even know if that's a good way to look at it, but it really seemed like the pandemic was the perfect reason for them to bow out. Just say, fuck it, we can't do it. Now, on the flip side of that, I don't see a lot of people putting up money to go up against SpaceX, the Starlink. I don't see a lot of people just putting up and trying to bet against Elon Musk at the moment. So maybe the pandemic, COVID-19, the coronas, was the perfect opportunity for them to say, let's just back it up. We're done here. Let's just move on. If you guys want to work, go work for Elon. Which a bunch of them probably will do that, right? What? Come on. You're not a sellout. You need to get paid. But the article starts out talking about COVID-19 and how it created all this financial impact and turbulence in the market. And how this was the downturn, like Arnold would say, the downturn for OneWeb. But no, I mean, according to this article, OneWeb had problems. They just couldn't come up with any people to give them some dough. The following paragraph after that starts talking about astronomers. This is where I'm talking about. They're using the pandemic, which is the pandemic is a very serious thing. It is. I'm not making light of it at all. I'm just pointing out that some people are using it to get some hits, some visitations, sell some of that advertising. All of a sudden, the article just goes into OneWeb and how apparently astronomers were not that really concerned about OneWeb because the people that they were really after is SpaceX. SpaceX is the culprit. They're the ones that need to be taken down. And there's a quote in here by Pat Seitzer, professor emeritus at the Department of Astronomy for the University of Michigan and a member of the American Astronomical Society, or ASS. And they have a working group that's studying the effects of mega constellations on astronomy. Why the fuck you need a group for that? Just look up in the sky. It's not that hard. Look at all the pictures people have been posting on the internet. Fuck you need a working group for? Just turn on your damn tablet. Why you guys spend so much money on the obvious? Just look. You'll see it. It's very easy. The quote from Pat was, "We've had one telecon. That's the way they spelled it. I'm not sure if he's calling them telecons, like they're trying to con people out of the sky. With OneWeb, and we hope to follow up with a second one shortly. And the guy is, of course, is referring to SpaceX. And this was at a panel discussion on March 11th on Capitol Hill. And the issue was that basically SpaceX represents a different challenge. Yeah, because it wasn't a shitty little company like OneWeb. I can say that now because they're in bankruptcy. I can get away with that. Yeah, they ain't going to do shit now. Yeah. The primary concern for American Astronomical Society, the working group who can't seem to look at the sky, is that it really wasn't OneWeb. They're worried about the Starlink satellites, and mainly because, the response from SpaceX back in the day was, hey, okay, we get it. We miscalculated. Yeah, you see like a string of freaking satellites going across the sky. Yep, sorry, we didn't plan for that. Yeah, we didn't think about you guys with the pocket protectors looking through the big telescopes. And so they said, why don't we build DarkSats? Would that make you guys happy? What if we darkened these Starlinks? Make them blend in like camouflage. Yeah. But the thing is that eventually SpaceX is planning on basically getting 30,000 satellites or more into low orbit, with 1,200 to be completed this year alone. And the little shitty amount they have now is causing up a stir, right? So they did go ahead and they sent up a darky one, a little dark shadow, the shadow sat, really is what it is. They sent up a shadow sat, and there was a bit of a study done by these pocket protector guys in astronomy. Now, when they sent up the shadow sat, it had to be at a higher orbit than what it needed to be, because it got to go up, and then it eases down really slowly into what they call the operational orbit. Unfortunately, when they actually tested the shadow sats or DarkSat, what they found, these astronomy dudes, that there was a notable reduction in the reflection, but may not be sufficient. So these DarkSats may not be what astronomers are looking for. What they said was that the reflection was, or the brightness from the satellites reflecting the sun, was down at about 55% compared to the other Starlink satellites launched before that. They said the conclusions were preliminary, and they only did this on one night. So, when it comes to science, you have to observe that shit like 500,000 times, meet about it, write about it, get peer-reviewed, possibly get declined, go back again, meet about it, test again, peer-reviewed, then publish, and then about 3 months later after that, get together and say, I think it's okay. That's just the way it goes. That's how they do things. SpaceX founder Elon Musk apparently at a Satellite 2020 conference in Washington March 9th said this: we are working with senior members of the science community and senior astronomers to minimize the potential for reflection from satellites. When they asked him about the efforts to reduce the brightness of them flashy-ass satellites, the Starlinks, he said, we're running a bunch of experiments. He also said this: I am confident we are not, or we not, I don't know. So whoever wrote this, either he didn't say it in English, but I could believe that, or whoever wrote this didn't really speak English, because they actually typed in this article, I am confident that we not cause any impact whatsoever in astronomical discoveries. He said 0. That's his prediction. And if there's anything above 0 in an impact, they will take corrective action. Hashtag, I'm going to tell you whatever the fuck I want. I'm Elon Musk. Shut the fuck up. Move on. We know that there's an impact. Again, you don't need a work group. Just look at fucking Facebook. Look at this internet in general. People are posting these pictures all over the place. Come on. You don't have to be a rocket scientist or even a guy that creates electric cars to know there's an impact. So stop fucking around. The corrective action failed, basically. But here's the thing. If Elon Musk, SpaceX, and any part of the organization, if they get a foothold and actually successfully get some of this internet stuff working or get countries to buy it now, before they finish putting up the first 12,000, astronomy is fucked. Yeah. We are going to have to take astronomers, train them into being astronauts, and shoot those fuckers into space for about a year or two in order for them to get their observations. They might like that. They might enjoy a little trip. There is more to this article. Again, check out the link in the description. I've never heard of this outlet before, but that's the article they put together. And they should be ashamed of using COVID-19 in order to, promote that article about SpaceX. They really don't have nothing to do with each other, but hey, that's the way it goes. No fucks are given anywhere, I guess. One more article to go for today, and it looks like we are going to survive. It's no more Max Headroom Moonraker for this episode. Hopefully not. I got to go back and check it out and see what's going on. I don't know, but it looks like everything is promising. So we'll have some more live episodes the rest of the week. Come back for Thursday, Friday, not Friday, Thursday freak out. It's only Monday, and it's been a long ass week. And let me just repeat again. I may be mentioning COVID-19 quite a bit in the pandemic, which, by the way, hashtag the pandemic is catching on by a lot. People just kind of dig it because it's kind of making light of it, but at the same time, I know that the pandemic and this COVID-19 thing is extremely serious, and it's horrible, and it's sad to see so many people around the world being impacted by it. And but sometimes, this is why people listen to UFO Buster Radio, because I kind of tend to find a lighter side to it and maybe a different perspective, like the pandemic. Because really, damn it all, so many things could have been different if it wasn't for China. Yeah, and them, I don't know how the fuck this came about. That's what I really want to know. How did we get this COVID-19? Fuck. The conspiracies, they're all over the place, I'm sure. This article called Coronavirus could preview what will happen when alien life reaches Earth. We actually had a chat about that not too long ago. I don't know if it was last week or the week before when Shittergate started really going haywire everywhere. But the conversation was more around the fact that Native American Indians had that same situation, right? When folks started coming in from Europe and they were decimated by all the germs that came. And they didn't have no wipes to help them out, right? No Lysol. So they were fucked. This article is kind of talking about that. Are we doomed to experience this if some little gray fucker comes over and is germy as fuck and decides to lick our faces, among other places, and spread the germs all over us? And then what are we going to do? We sure as hell are not going to be immune to it. So will we, humanity, fall prey to the germs that visitors carry in the way that this particular COVID-19 is doing to the world right now? So the article, of course, starts talking about SARS-CoV-2 virus, which is the cause of the disease that we come to know lovingly as COVID-19. At the time that this article was written, and it's pretty recent because they have here some quotes about what's happening in the U.S. 90,000 confirmed cases, 3,000 deaths, and of course, COVID-19 is in 68 different countries at the moment. How fast is this thing spread? It's scary as hell. Other things, the Tokyo Olympics have been moved, rescheduled. It's not going to happen. We have things like the Dow Jones Industrial Average hitting the shitter, right? Markets crashing. Elections might be pushed over to some other time. Who the fuck knows when? But on the other side, there was a column that was written in SpaceX that pointed out that NASA apparently has a long history of protecting the Earth from biohazards, and not only from other planets, but also the other way around, protecting other planets from our nastiness. And again, another article that leads with COVID-19. It started out with a great premise, right? What if aliens come down? What if they spit their cold on you and you die? And it spreads across as a pandemic throughout the world. You know, that's how they started. It had a great start because I was thinking, hey, that's right up my alley. UFO Buster Radio. We need to consider this, but no. The whole thing turned into an article about the Office of Safety and Mission Assurance, or OSMA, who is a part of NASA, and they're also known as the Planetary Protection Office, the PPO. Yeah, it's better than the ASS, the Astronomers Association of I don't know. Just craziness, I guess. Apparently what they do is that they make sure that we don't have any cross-contamination. We're not taking any nasty bits up there to wherever the fuck we're going. The article talked about the new rover going up and the likelihood that the rover might take some COVID-19 with it. Is that really an issue? I don't understand. Why are we worried about if the rover is going to be dry humped by someone who has COVID-19 and it's going to take it up into space? Okay, that's great. But apparently Ozma is there to ensure that little coronavirus bugs do not cover the rover and actually make it through entry into the Martian atmosphere or through all that radiation in space, that it doesn't fucking survive none of that. And then when it lands, it is COVID-19 free. They apparently put a lot of rigorous work behind ensuring that no microbes from planet Earth actually make it into any planet in the solar system to where they shoot their stuff off to. No pun intended. But this was an issue for them. My thing is, I wanted to point out again, here's another story in which COVID-19, the coronavirus, is being used to talk about space, to talk about SpaceX, to talk about NASA. I don't get it. I mean, there's no honor among thieves anymore. You use whatever the fuck you want in order to get your story out. It is just crazy. And the fact is, listen, I don't think any freaking single person on the world is worried about whether or not that new rover is going to take any COVID-19 with it to Mars. Nobody gives a fuck. Hey, put all that shit on the damn rover and send it the fuck off to somewhere else. How about that? Maybe you NASA people can think about that. Put a fucking COVID-19 magnet on that bitch and then send it to Mars. Let COVID-19 enjoy itself over there. Very strange. I mean, it's crazy how we take these situations that are happening worldwide and turn it into advertising. That is pretty much the show for today. I think we made it without any accidents. None whatsoever. We are good to go for the rest of the week. I hope I didn't scare you guys with all this COVID-19 talk, but it's not my fault. That's the shit that was out there. That's what they're talking about now. Yeah, we went from Native Americans being killed off by Europeans to gray aliens coming down here and licking on everyone and getting their version of COVID-19 on everything. And now the freaking rover, having a sack full of that shit going on to Mars, which I don't give two fucks. It'll die out. Come on. Who's going to think that shit's going to survive up there anyway? Just like I said, pack it all up. Let's send it all up there. Why not? I'm okay with it. I'm sure you are. This is UFO Buster Radio, episode number 353, I believe. Transmitting from Texas. And I appreciate you guys for listening and sticking through the podcast. And for those of you who participate in the discussion, I appreciate that. Anyone who wants to participate in the discussion can go to Facebook. And I know a lot of people are allergic to Facebook. But UBR Truth Seekers is the group. You can also go to the Facebook page, UFO Buster Radio. And also on Twitter, at UFO Buster Radio. Lastly, at Manny Moonraker on Instagram, where you'll find some pictures of Bugs the UFO Hunter, who's actually been pretty quiet, and I'm really happy about that. It's huge. With that said, I thank you guys for listening. I'll check you out later on in the week. I'll be back for some more live episodes until the internet goes to shit again. And I have to pre-record things like I did last time. Ciao.
up the